Hello and welcome back to Naturally Catholic. My name is Heather. If you are new, welcome. I'm so happy that you've decided to stop by. If you're new, please go ahead and like and subscribe this video. That helps me out a ton, and it also helps me to know what type of material and content that you guys are enjoying. So go ahead and do that. I would greatly appreciate it. Today's video is going to be a run through of our normal everyday homeschool routine, and I just want to throw a disclaimer out there, okay? So if you are new to homeschooling, I want you to know right away that homeschool is not going to be copy and paste. There are going to be days where you have to run your kid to the doctor, for an appointment, or you're going to have to take the dog to the vet, or maybe you need to run to the grocery store for the third time this week because you just keep forgetting to get trash bags, okay? Like we've all been there. So I just want you to know that right away. I don't want anyone to feel like, it's got to look just like this, because it doesn't look like the same thing every day. So there's my disclaimer for anyone who is new to homeschooling. All right, so let's get into the video and you guys can see what my mornings look like.
For days that I don't want to wear makeup, my go-to is just mascara and to shade my brows a little bit. I feel like that just helps me get put together or feel put together, which is important, especially if you're home all day. You want to feel put together even though you're home all day. It's going to help you feel and be more productive, I promise. So I also get dressed every day, whether that is something like a shirt like I have on today with a little cardigan and leggings, or it's a sweater and leggings. I still do it because it, again, helps me feel productive, and it also makes me productive. The key here, for me at least, and I know other moms, other moms do it differently, but for me, my whole goal is to not make it as homey for myself. I don't want it to feel like I'm at home all day, because then I can just become lazy, and being lazy is just going to make me not as productive when it comes to trying to organize our homeschool day. So yeah, I definitely get dressed. Just for a reference on time, right now it is 7:15. And between 7 and 8 is my chore hour, so I can explain what I do more. But between this time, I like to get as many chores that's on my chore chart done as possible. That way I know during the day when I'm homeschooling that I've already taken care of my chores for the day, and I don't have to be stressed out about, oh my goodness, I've got to homeschool and then I have to do all these things. So making sure that you get that knocked out before you start school in the morning is going to make your day run smoother, and it's going to feel better knowing that you've already accomplished some household chores that you needed to take care of. And I will say this a million times, having a morning chore chart for yourself and sticking to it and waking up early and having a good morning routine is so important. Now that I've established a morning routine and a chore chart for myself, I can feel so much better knowing that I'm not slacking in any areas of housewife duties and personal duties and things that I need to get done. So that is so important. So I can show you my chore chart to give you some ideas and inspiration, but it's basically whatever you need to do that's going to make your house run smooth that day. So for me, that's a laundry, that's making my bed, maybe folding a load of laundry that I did previous that day, maybe it's unloading the dishwasher. Whatever it is that you need to do that's important to you for that day before you can have a relaxing homeschool morning, do it. Take care of it while the kids are asleep. Even if they wake up, so my kids wake up around 7, around this time actually, and I can actually hear the baby because her room is on the other side of my bathroom. But I make it a point to let them know that this is mommy's chore hour, and if you need something, I'm here, but just know that this is the time where mommy has to get her chores done. And I have older kids, 10 and 7, and then I have my toddler who's 3, and then the baby who's 1. So the older boys know that this is the time that I need to get my things done. So they don't really necessarily bother me, and they understand that now, but I've established those rules so that they can understand. So just doing that is very helpful. Okay, so I'm dressed, nothing fancy. I have leggings and a sweater and some socks.
So between the hour of 7 and 8 a.m. is my personal chore hour. I run around in that hour trying to get everything that is important for that day done. It's not a big deal if I don't get it done during that hour, because between 9 and 10, I'm cleaning up after breakfast, so I just go back and finish whatever I didn't get to get done in that time frame. So you'll start to see that all of my precious little angels are starting to emerge from their slumber, and they kind of just run around like crazy little things that they are until I finish what I need to do. And then we transition downstairs. They brush their teeth, they get dressed for the day, and that's when I start making breakfast. So as I'm doing breakfast, they're preparing for homeschool, getting themselves dressed. And then after homeschool is when I implement their chore hour, and that's when they have to get done with all of their chores before we actually start our school day. Kiddos are gonna eat some leftover waffles from yesterday, because yesterday was Waffle Wednesday, and I cooked a huge spread of waffles, bacon, and eggs. I have tons of leftover waffles, so that's what they're gonna do. I'm gonna whip up some egg whites just so I can have some egg whites, because I am not eating waffles with the kiddos. So we're gonna do an easy breakfast, and then we are gonna move on to the next part of our morning, which is getting ready for our homeschool day and taking care of our chores as well. What I'm doing here is taking all of my to-do things for the whole day, and I'm just writing it out so that I can have a visual for what I have to do that day. This just kind of helps me hold myself accountable, and it is there for me to see throughout the day, and I can check it off as I go. This is my daily, weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly calendar. This pertains to house things only. So anything that's house related that needs to get done daily, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly have been listed on this checklist, and I just go through and mark it as I do each thing. Also have the boys' chore chart listed here. That's what's in green and gray. And then this is our daily flow chart. I have this on the board just so I can also have, like I said, a visual of what we're doing that day, and making sure that we are staying on track. Wash your lawn. So for time reference, it is around 9 a.m. now, and I'm cleaning up after breakfast, and the boys are running around taking care of their daily chores. And when we finish this, we mosey on upstairs. I usually have a snack tray made after I clean up. That way we can just bring that upstairs and snack on that during our morning basket time. I know you're probably thinking it seems very complicated with all of the lists and the chore charts and the cleaning and the to-dos, but I promise you, if you structure your day and follow a pen to paper chore chart, you will have a successful homeschool day. And I've gone so many days where I have not done that and I've just winged it, and it's always so like chaotic, and I always feel so I just feel like I have so much anxiety those days. I just can't settle, and it's just harder. So I like to make it easier on myself, and by that I have to have some kind of structure, and that's why I've created so many different types of chore charts and daily flow charts and class schedules and whatever else I have to do that to help me personally. That's just my thing, and that's what I love to do. So my oldest two boys have a day on their chore chart where they are responsible for putting their clothes in the washer and getting it washed for that week. And I have been doing this for probably about 6 months now. It's literally the best idea I feel like I've ever had. This saves me so much laundry time. Plus, it's teaching them how to work the washer and dryer. So not only are they learning something, they are also getting their laundry washed and put away at the same time. So we're gonna start with our morning basket, but before we do that, I wanted to show you my my binder. So this is my binder, and this is just kind of like where I keep all my important stuff. So I have the daily flow chart that you saw downstairs also in here, so I can keep track of my time. We are now in the 10 to noon block of the flow chart, which is going to be our time when school starts, and we have our snack. So first thing we're going to do is our morning basket, and in my morning basket I have a communion book for my youngest son, and then I have this catechism for my 10-year-old, and we're going to go through this as well. I have a Saint of the Day book that we go through. I also have a Bible study that we're currently doing. And then I have something extra that we are doing this year, which is the Rosary in Art. This is really beautiful. If you've seen my Seton review video, then you know that I love Catholic art. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And so I thought it would be nice to have a Catholic art book, but for the before the mysteries of the Rosary, because again, it's just so beautiful to meditate on, and it helps whenever we're saying our Rosary. So this is what we're going to be doing. We usually we're at the very beginning right now, so we just pick the next one that we would be on, and we read about it, which would be this one, which is the Visitation. So we're going to go through this and review it. We'll answer some questions about the picture, and then that's it. That's what's in our morning basket. So when we finish our snack in our morning basket, we'll then go to the board and we'll do our vocab. The kids will have a chance to earn some stars, but since it's February, we're calling it hearts. And also what we'll do is review the months, the weeks, and then we'll just jump right into each kid's curriculum, and then I will show you guys as we go what that looks like and what their binders look like. They each have a binder. We're doing the binder system this year, and they have sections in here per subject. And so that is what that looks like. And like I said, I'll show you that when we get to that point. But first things first, let's give our time to the Lord and do our morning basket. So something that you can implement in your homeschool day if your children are not listening is marks on the board. Our marks on the board are going to be 3 warnings, and then once you've reached that, then you get a mark on the board. And then when you get 3 marks, there is a disciplinary action that follows. And usually that action comes in play when Daddy gets home. Just an idea for you guys, especially during this time when I'm going to be doing lots of reading and there might be distractions. If they're not listening, I definitely use the tally board system. So. Days of King Herod, behold, Magi came from the east to Jerusalem, saying, Where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east and have come to worship him. But when King Herod heard this, he was troubled. Okay, so we're done with our morning basket routine, and now we are going to do our board time. So what I'm doing here is listing our vocab words and reviewing them. I typically give them anywhere from 2 to 3 new vocab words every day, and then we review them daily, and then at the end of the week I quiz them over it. And this is how I implement a reward system. This is where most of their reward stars come from. They can also get them for good behavior, but mostly it's from our vocab that we do every morning on the board.
Look at the trial.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're done with our morning basket and our marker board time, and now we are going to jump right into our class schedule. Today's Thursday, so we just follow through, and I do have it structured differently per child. I have their subjects staggered. That way, if Luca needs help with a subject that maybe is a little more involved, I can have Harper working on something that is not as involved and something that really doesn't need my help with as much. So just think about that when you're planning out their subjects, making sure that you give yourself time to help each child. That way it doesn't feel overwhelming when they're both saying, Mom, I need help, because that does happen. So just make sure that you structure it out. That way it's not stressful for you. Something that is important that took me many years to finally realize is your children are sometimes going to take a really long time to finish one subject, and whether it's because they're just not getting it and they need more help, or whether it's because they're getting distracted by maybe the siblings or the environment around them or whatever is on their mind. It just happens where they're going to take a little bit longer. And so I used to sit with them for literally hours helping them try to finish. And it just became so incredibly daunting and stressful, and I had to change something. So what I do now is I allow them 30 minutes per subject, which might, depending on what the subject is, might be too long for some. But for me, I feel like that's a nice amount of time for us to get our schoolwork done. And then that way, when they are done with that 30 minutes, if they don't finish it, we're going to move on. And so that's really helped me a lot. Okay, so I do not have a desk area for Ambrose, unfortunately, but this weekend, oh my gosh, look at all that water. It's been raining nonstop. It's actually raining right now. This weekend, my husband is going to build a little desk area similar to that for Ambrose and Victoria right there. Yes, for you. And then I am also getting a desk area put in right there that's going to connect with their desk, because I also do not have a desk. But we've only been here for a year, so we're still trying to figure out what flows for us. So Ambrose and I are just going to sit on the floor, and I'm going to prop this up, and hopefully Victoria leaves it alone. Okay, Brosie, so we are learning the letter B today.
Yes.
Okay?
Where's B?
So this is
There's
B. No, remember that's A.
That's
So
B.
this is the letter A. So remember we learned the letter A? Yes, okay. That's right. That's right. Apple for alligator. And where is the letter A on this board?
Here.
Good job, Ambrose. Can you draw it with your finger? Good job. So this is Brosie's binder. Is this your binder? Yes, and Brosie has some schoolwork too. And if you haven't seen my review, I can link that down below, and that kind of goes through exactly what we're learning here. But we're just going to go through each one of his little books, and Brosie, we're going to go through each one of his little books, and then he's only going to spend about we're only going to spend about 5 minutes on each section. Sorry.
Yeah.
So now I can focus
I need my
on my
scissors.
toddler.
I just want my scissors.
Okay, well we don't need scissors right now.
Oh,
That way
you got-
she's put up,
got it in the
they're
middle
doing
of the
something.
bird.
Yeah, and they're
Oh.
doing, the older ones are doing something, so now we'll focus on him. So today we're learning the number 4.
I already learned this.
Well, we didn't do it yet.
We learned this.
That's the number 4. Can you hold up 4 fingers? Show me with your fingers. Can you do this? Look. 1. Look at mommy. 1,
1,
2,
2,
3. Next one. Pop it up.
3,
4.
4,
4. No, pop the pinky up. There you go.
4.
That's the number 4.
Yes.
Good
This
job.
is number 3.
That's right. That is the number 3.
This is number 3.
No, that's the number 2. 1, 2. No. Now pick up your crown and go from the top to the bottom. Good job. Okay, do it again. Start at the dot. Go down to the... Okay, wait. Go there, wait. And then go up and then down. Good job, Ambrose. Okay, can you do it by yourself this time? Okay, so Ambrose is finishing up his schoolwork. He is going to practice his letter B because that's our letter for this week. He's going to trace those. And then he's also going to do this cut and paste worksheet. And this is going to be busy work because now I'm going to, I know you need help. I'm going to work with my 7-year-old on some of his math and get him caught up on English. Yes, yeah, that's yours. Yeah, we have totally made it to the floor. And usually when I'm working with my preschooler, this happens. We all end up on the floor, which is fine. But I'm going to give them some busy work so that I can help the older two. Now that I have finished up my time with my toddler, I'm going to get him set up with a movie. I don't typically use a ton of screen time, but I do like to pick and choose my battles, and sometimes you just have to get schoolwork done, and the little ones can be fussy and they just are done. So I do put him in front of the TV for a little bit, and I know that that's like a big, controversial topic for some, but that's what I do, and I'm not too hard on myself, okay? I give myself grace where grace is needed. We do a lot of book time, so I don't feel guilty doing this at all. So just do whatever works best for you. It's not quite 1:30 yet. It's actually about 12:50, so we're right on track with that. And then last, he'll do his math, which will be after we do our group lesson. Harper is still finishing up his math, and then he will move on to independent reading as well. We have finished all of our core lessons, except for the one that we will do after our looping group. But right now what we're doing is independent reading, and this can be a chapter book or just going through some books from the library. And then also during this time we also have our lunch. It is art time, and we are doing art in the kitchen just to break up our space. We are finishing up with our loop in group. So this is what we do for our looping group. Basically it's just the loop schedule, and for today we are doing art. So for Ambrose, I'm going to let him free draw, and for the boys, they're going to do their art subject. Looks like Luca's going to be learning how to draw a fish, so make sure you draw your fish and then color it, okay? Looping group is our last thing to do, and they do have one more lesson, but it's typically not something super long, so that's pretty much it as far as subjects go for the day. That is it for our video today. We are going to end our day by eating our dinner and then getting ready for another wonderful day. Isn't that right, Miss Victoria? Yeah. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch my day in the life of our homeschool routine. I hope that this video was helpful. If you're new, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to pray for you, and feel free to ask me any questions that you may have. Until next time, thank you guys so much for watching, and God bless.